I met a man who I thought would look after me because he had a bit of a reputation.
Hello, me lovely as well. That's a clip from an interview Emma Cockrell did a few years ago, where she clearly states she got with a man because she needed protecting and he had a bad reputation. What she doesn't explain is what she was going around and saying and doing. That meant that she needed a man with a bad reputation to protect her. And what usually happens in situations like that, and I used to see this in police and try to warn young women about it, when you take up with a bad boy because he's a bad boy, he doesn't stop being a bad boy because he's in love with you. And that's where it all goes completely wrong. Completely wrong. If he's going to bully other people or attack other people, chances are he'll attack and bully you when you do something he doesn't like. And I'll say now, I have nothing but sympathy for Emma or any other woman that has made that mistake and suffered from DV, which she has done. And I'd never say she asked for it. No way does anyone, man or woman, ask for that. So let's make that clear. What I am wanting to point out here is how Emma continually and has a history of using men who can be volatile to protect her and troll on her behalf. She did the same with Irish Bull. Irish Bull can be very volatile, and she used him when she wanted someone to go out and bully on her behalf, and now she's doing it again with Hangman Audits. Now, she did this live the other day with Hangman Audits, and Maria was there as well, Maria Howard. And it's just absolutely bizarre what this Hangman Audit is going on. And I'm not saying this an insult, I'm not, because I have high functioning autism myself. I think there's a strong chance he could be on the spectrum, high functioning spectrum, because the things he says are totally to the left at times. And you'd think, why doesn't he realise that something is off about what he's saying? But the important thing is, Emma and Maria are quite happy to use him. Like they did, as I say, with Irish Bull. And I've said about Irish Bull in the past, I think he has some kind of learning difficulties, or he might be on the spectrum. I don't know. But they do seem to use people who are vulnerable. And you can tell by Brian as well. Brian definitely has some kinds of learning difficulties. You can see that. And this seems to be an ongoing trend with Emma. She'll go for men who can be volatile, who also seem to have some kind of issues, shall I put it like that, issues. I know that I'll say I'm going to start playing clips in a minute of what I mean by this Hangman being a questionable character in regard to, does he know what he's actually getting himself involved in? Is that this is so embarrassing for Brian. Again, Emma just causing a situation that's going to not reflect good on Brian. Why isn't, if she wants someone to fight her battles, why isn't Brian fighting them for her? Why isn't he? To have a man coming in, and you'll see what I mean as I go on and play what this Hangman is saying, to have him coming in and saying that, a strange man, protecting his wife. Am I the only one that thinks that that's really off? There's something off with that. But anyway, let's get on with what I want to say.
And I'm a better troll than him.
Damn.
I can't wait to troll people back. This is what I do on the other app.
Now, this is important what he says there, because Emma's whole point and whole thing about crying about Humble Dryer, Steve Wraith and others is that she's being trolled. They're terrible trolls, but she's got a man on a channel supporting her who is admitting he's a troll. Go work that one out. If it's okay for her to use someone to troll, isn't that okay for anyone else to use someone to troll? But there's another important issue here, and I think you best listen to this, Hangman Audits. There's a thing in the law, you like hanging around police stations or police, don't you, right? Why don't you stop a police officer and say, can you tell me what harassment by agency means? Just ask them, and you might realise that if you take this too far and Donna or anyone else has to go to the police, the people who are going to get into trouble most are Emma and Maria. Why? Because it's clear you've been invited on here. There's no doubt about it. You've been invited onto this channel to troll on their behalf, and you have said that is what you are doing, trolling. So they can be actually pulled in and charged with the offence of your trolling because it's being done on their behalf. Go and ask a police officer.
Get that pig out the sunshine. Tell that pig to come in and get on the live. Yeah?
Pig's out.
Humble dryer, go and get that pig out the sunshine, yeah? Tell that pig to stop roasting outside and get her on the live, yeah? Because she's scared to go live. Come on, we're waiting for you.
I'm not
Oh,
allowed
she's
on.
going to be upset when I start going in on them. Get that pig on the screen, yeah? So I can roast her.
Now, that's Donna he's talking about. This man who boasts that he's 6'3" and he's a semi-professional rugby player. And he's actually telling a woman to come on and he's going to roast her. And he's saying she'll be terrified. That's what he's saying. And yet this is the same Emma that pulls out the hat all the time. I'm a woman being bullied. And I'll just say, some of the people that were in that live chat are women who turned around and said that same thing. Men bullying women, yet they're sitting by and listening to him saying all this. If he wants to have a go at anyone, have a go at Humble. Up to him. I'm not going to step in. If he wants to take Humble on, that's up to him. I think he'll find he's going to have one hell of a fight on his hands if he does take him on, but that's up to him to do it. But what he's doing is he's going for Donna. Shall I tell you now, leave Emma and leave Marie to go for Donna. Let them do it. Because then it's woman on woman. A 6'3" man who is a professional rugby player doesn't go after a woman like that. And say that he's going to make her terrified. And he's going to roast her.
I've got a whole rugby team, 20 lads, and a second, and there's a second team, and there's a third team. So you can't come here and give me shit.
Well, I wonder what your group of 20 men in the rugby teams will be thinking when they hear you threatening a woman like that, telling her that you're going to terrify her and you're going to roast her. I wonder if you were saying that about one of their partners, what they'd think. And also, this is where you see the true sign of fear in him. Because why is he saying that? You won't come here, because he's in the background, he's worried. Why would he say I've got 20 men in this rugby team? Because he's trying to say to Humble, you come at me. One minute he's saying, you come at me, I'll take it on. But then he's given this threat, he's got 20 people that will back him up. I think when they hear those messages, somehow if they're decent men, they won't be backing you up. I think they'll be telling you, you know, get a reality check and stop fighting women's fights. Fight your own fights with men. Leave the women to fight theirs, right? Or as a lot of black African Americans will say, stop being a bitch. Be a man, stop being a bitch. Get with the men.
When you're bullying women, bullying fucking vulnerable people. Funny how you don't bully
She said she's
men.
in.
Which is what you're doing right now, going in on a woman. And Humble does go in on women at times, and I don't agree with everything he says or does. I don't. I've had it out with him, as I say, in the past over things he said. But I think you find the majority of the time it's men he takes on. It's other men. I mean, I don't know unless Paddy Conroy is transgender and is really a woman. Or if Danny Christie is really a woman and is parading as a man. Gary Fairby. I could go on and on and on of men he's had it out with.
She might be the feeder, yeah.
No, he's the feeder, I think, because it looks like Donna, but she's definitely put a few pound on, I can see.
Oh, for God's sake, that is rich. I mean, I'm sorry, Emma, right? There's never going to be any fear of you when you're walking over a drain cover that you're going to fall through it. I can assure you, you're not. So you calling anyone else for the weight is a bit rich.
Show me.
I don't know if it's true, but I'll just spin the narrative that this is where they buy subs. So yeah, this is where they buy subs from. Look, once people are my friends and they've been nice to me, I'll defend them even if they're wrong.
That's why I said it sounds like he's on the spectrum. And let me say again, I'm high functioning myself, so I'm not insulting them by saying that. Because they are so obviously off the wall things to say. They're really to the left. I mean, he's admitting right in front of everyone that he's not dealing in the truth. He's spinning a narrative. He's lying, in other words, and he's going to spin lies. And what have I said about Emma from day one? She spins a narrative. She's trying to get this dramatic narrative going. That's what she's doing. And he's confirmed today that he's doing that as well. And also the fact that he's turned round and said again, he doesn't even care if she is wrong, if she is lying. He's still going to support her. So how does that make him take the moral high ground? When he's going to support someone, whether they're telling lies or not. He's done himself no favours. Tell you now, Hangman Audits, if you hear this, you have done yourself no favours. This is going to really dent your reputation. And she's just happy, which she is, Emma is. And Maria, I'm not just including Emma in this, they're just happy to have you bullying on their behalf. And if you want to be a convenient fool for anyone, that's up to you. But if it does go too far, you have to pick up the pieces. But let me remind you again, Emma and Maria could also get in serious trouble because they are enabling you and encouraging you to do this.
That was the only reason I knew the house, because of that window. Honest to God.
Looking out a dirty old window.
I thought, oh, that's it, innit? Because when it got petrol bombed.
Oh, here we go, the little arse monkey off again. Laughing, get that, laughing at a house being petrol bombed. And she has a habit, which I put up in the past, of threatening to petrol bomb people's house.
Why does she let him tell so many lies? I just keep wanting to sing Dirty Old Smash Windows, though.
Now, I could put up here again the voice notes of Maria Howarth threatening to falsely accuse men of being paedophiles and handing that over to predator hunter groups to destroy their lives. Won't bother putting up Maria Howarth threatening a mother with her young children with being attacked by travellers she knows. Because you'll know all that, Hangman Audits. I'm gathering you'll know all that. I mean, you reckon you're an auditor. You'll have done research and gone into the background of both her and Emma. And then you'll turn around and find out for yourself. So you must have heard it, so you must agree with it. Because if you haven't heard them and you haven't done your research, you are what you're sounding like, a complete and utter useful, convenient fool. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. But anyway, Hangman Audits, anytime, when this is over, when Emma has turned on you or done something to pee you off, get in touch and let me know, and we'll have a talk, right, on one of my lives. So when you wake up to the reality, give me a call.